Hi, everyone. Welcome back. My guest today is Michael Ford, a former Wall Street professional who now helps people meet angels and spiritual beings directly. His story is about what happens when we move from thinking to feeling and from fear to love. He's also author of the book Listening to Angels, which was one of the Amazon's bestseller in angels category of spirituality. Welcome, Michael.
Great to see you again, Suma. Always a pleasure.
Same here. I always enjoy our conversations, and I think you emulate like what you preach, what you teach. That's what I like about you. I would love to know because you had this massive shift from Wall Street and global PR to hearing angels. Can you describe the exact moment that threshold opened, or was it like a gradual thing for you?
Both people can see and hear and feel angels directly on their own. They just have to get out of here, get to here. And Native American chiefs, 40 plus figures from India, deities, if you wish, Vishnu, Krishna, Ganesh, etc. But also galactic beings, interdimensional, whatever way you want to phrase that, your loved ones, and all the religious figures and non-religious figures. So from Einstein to Mary to Buddha to Muhammad to Jesus and so on. And it's not just seeing, you can have them show up in full human form. So this is a lot, and it's a lot for the human mind. And we are such seekers and such thinkers that all the knowing that we do today that kind of precludes possibility is the only block. You let go of that, you can have any answers to any questions. But for me, I moved to New York City the first time from 1984 to 1988, lived on Governor's Island and was going to high school at Andover for 4 years, Middlebury College, New England stuff. And then getting out of Middlebury, I said over my dead body I'd ever move back to New York. And of course, the universe delivered a New York City job right away. 2 years at a Wall Street firm. As soon as I got out, I went into public relations. And I didn't really know the first thing about any of the cultural, philosophical, religious stuff out there. I'd done a pretty good job keeping my head in my sand. I even skipped half my Plato reading. You can meet Plato. I skipped half my Plato reading back in college. So when I moved to my home that I had purchased during like 2 years before the Lehman crisis in Austin, Texas, and I got laid off in a third stealth round of layoffs at a $1 billion law firm. There were 72 of us given an hour's notice. I was the only one excited. I was moving to Austin, Texas, finally getting out of New York City. I had been there cumulatively for 20 years. Um, I had to fill the house and I started having experiences happen, hearing, seeing, feeling. And I didn't quite freak out, but I freaked out. And I grabbed every psychic around, shaking them by the lapels, and I asked for a lot of help. And eventually you sort of get over the whole thing, and it's just basic listening, basic feeling, basic seeing. And it's so easy that you would think everybody on planet Earth would want to do it. But it's kind of like your New Year's resolutions, the gym, health, exercise, whatever. It's the last place on earth most of us actually want to go. It's much easier to be an expert, even in the spiritual realm, to be a top best-selling author than to have to go full stop in any given moment and be in your heart and to experience the universe full on. So I think it's what everybody's pointing to for an experience, especially your amazing guests. And I wouldn't want to change anything anywhere with anyone's thinking or what they're already doing. Everyone is 100%, 1,000% good where they are right now. But there's more love available in each moment. There's more answers. There's more fun. Bypassing everything that we thought we knew about spirituality, science, the universe, the rest of it.
And when you remember you saying how thinking blocks compassion, what's the mechanism there? Like what actually happens in consciousness when thought subsides? I know you have done a lot of work in this area. I would love to get your opinion on that.
I think people spend half their day, maybe more, in a more open state than their brain or their ego or their rationale will appreciate. So when you flip a light switch, for some reason that escapes the radar of the ego. You go to touch a light switch for your living room and flip it on. Your ego is not obsessing about that, or you're brushing your teeth the night before. Did you do this molar? and 2 weeks later you're still losing sleep over it. Did I brush it long enough? Or did my light switch really click on the right way with the light bulb? Do I need an electrician? Do I need to replace the light bulb? I mean, there are a million ways we think things to death, but for some reason there's a threshold, and we think certain external topics are more important. Our personal stuff, my problem is, my situation is, politics, climate change, everything. And for some reason, the ego just doesn't have a lot of bandwidth. It can't be everywhere. It can't put the kibosh on everything. It can't keep you tamped down everywhere. So the more you do a mindfulness practice, breathing, relaxing, laughing, there's about a million ways to get to your heart. And I would argue most of you, everyone watching has their own ways to be, they're already a master at getting to here. It's just we have about 40 million ways we get stuck, or we know something that precludes possibility. And so it's truly basic listening, truly basic feeling. And I was very fortunate to get photos of angels. I help people. The photos are great for helping you step out of your own way. And I can put a couple up, a silhouette of an angel. I'll put up my book cover, and it's two balls of light. There's no one way about this. It's not orbs. It's all different types of shapes, sizes, four archangels. That was a guardian angel, the silhouette, the two balls of light, two more angels. A fairy in a fairy shape. And the photos are great. They'll move, they'll change color. You can use a historical photo of Einstein, Audrey Hepburn. Photos will move. We know photos can't move, historical photos, but you'll get a wink, a smile, shoulder waggle. And what's great is forget the photos. You can full on see out your window. If it's a sunny day, some people need a Walmart parking lot distance. Others are really loosey-goosey and comfortable, and they just get to see right off the bat. Others are shut tight like an oyster. So it's really the world is your oyster, shut tight like an oyster. Where do you want to put yourself? And if we ditch the whole spirituality, angels, the universe, love, compassion topics, I think that's the rub, the human condition. What are you allowing for daily? And a lot of us are rinse and repeat. I did it. I did it in Wall Street. I did it in public relations. I was really happy though. I loved connecting people, journalists and experts. I put people on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. I think I did that 12 times for the Wall Street Journal. I almost got the cover of Business Week when Business Week, the magazine, existed. I waited 6 months for that cover to hit. Too much breaking news. But at the peak of my public relations, I think I did 1,100 plus, 1,100 plus interviews in 1 year. I set them up, I sat in on them, and I made magic happen. I loved it. 1 + 1 = 11. And I would argue that in a way, it's the same job today. I have angels and universal loving beings who are beyond our grasp. We try really hard. Every religion, every philosophy, every workshop, every expert who shouldn't change a thing. And then we have amazing humans on the other side. And catch a human on one Tuesday, they're like, get out of here. I can't, no, it's not possible. And they're just like reacting. I'm a lot of enthusiasm often. They are just like, no way, Jose. And catch them 2 Tuesdays later or 2 years later. They're like, let's do it. And then wait a year. They're like, nah, it never really happened. So I can't win, but luckily this isn't about winning or losing. Um, this is moving past seeing the negative of it all. We are super judgers, and we know this and that. And here's the funny thing: is everyone is right. So I love that because everyone is spending their energy how they're spending their energy. And the only other things I can add is where you put your focus is where you put your focus. So when you learn to spend less time up here and more time here, you're not worried about the light switch, the brushing the teeth, or external stuff. You start to cultivate what Tibetans and others talk about, your inner authenticity, your inner fearless, peaceful warrior path. And I think not only does everyone have a unique frequency and uniqueness, and no matter what you're doing, Joseph Campbell, you can meet him. He got an A+ for his path. He did such beautiful work, mythology and connecting the dots between cultures, but he never met his angels. And that's okay. He still got an A+ for his life path. Everyone has a unique life path. You can have that dusted off. You can have it altered by angels. You have to have that conversation directly. You can have healing through hugs from angels, but you have to have that conversation directly. I never see a topic, a question and answer anymore. I stay out of it. I make people give a fruit name to their topic. If it's about your cousin asking for money for the 400th time or your heart condition, I don't hear about it. You have that direct chat with angels and go back and forth, and you find out what's possible, what's not. Some people signed up to have the heart condition. It helps them be more compassionate and shine more, and it's you know very specific to them. So I try to stay out of the details these days, and there's a lot of mini miracles that happen.
Have you personally ever received a message from angel that completely changed your life?
Well, I talk pretty much daily, and a lot of times you think it's your own voice. Welcome to your own intuition. What do you think half the good intuition's been up till now? Um, I've gotten more the reminders to not get too caught up here. I'm the type of person who has to hear something 200 times before 2 years later I say, "Oh, that's what you're talking about." I'm a little thick and dense. It doesn't mean I'm not smart. I took calculus in ninth grade, taught myself algebra in like sixth or seventh grade, but I need stuff explained to me, hardcore, even dad jokes. I've walked back into a Target the next day and been like, I need that explained to me. And then I tell it for 1,000 times later. So what I'm trying to say is, um, most people out there are super sharp on this front. They only need to hear it 5 times or once. So as soon as someone can realize this is real, they're off to the races. You can chat with Jesus. You can chat with Mary. You can see her. You can have any answer to any question, all languages spoken, all dialects, tons of humor. And what I think goes unspoken here or unappreciated is they know your personality. They know you like the New York Jets, you don't like the Giants. They know you like sushi, but you hate Indian food, or you like Indian food, you don't like sushi. They know how to navigate everything to say it just the right way so you receive it just the right way. And I think that's kind of a mini miracle unto itself. So this is something that was maybe limited in the past. Not every human was given that opportunity. I think it's a mankind thing, humanity thing. We're ready for more awareness. I think that's a great word that's safe in all those different communities out there. More awareness, less rat race. And the rat race isn't the big banks or the war or the global climate, this or that, or politics. It's our thinking. There's that interconnectedness, whether it's the global slipstream of love that's in and around you, kind of like the Force from Star Wars and Yoda's speech in every Star Wars film. And then there's the global slipstream of, unfortunately, unlove, unconsciousness that seeks control and power. And the last thing anybody's ego will ever let you do is go full stop to be here, to pay attention more to the moment, to be one with the moment, to be one with love that's in and around you, that I think is the fabric of the universe. I know it's the fabric of the universe. And to allow unconditional love figures who don't want to interfere. Although I'd argue you have at least 4 or 5 moments in your life path that they'll come in and help regardless. You signed up for some help along the way. And if you're a little adventurous, courageous, um, you can do it, no problema.
And you've said hundreds of people have met their angels directly in your sessions. What would
Like
you
thousands, yeah.
what would
And
you
jointly too, joint seeing, hearing, feeling. And so I'm off the hook. The photographs will move. There are photographs you can see directly, but joint seeing, feeling, and hearing.
and what would you say to those who think that that's a suggestion or hypnosis?
The last time I checked, everyone's doing that. And look where the world is at right now. Lots of conflict, war. If more people would listen, I'm just going to quote Archangel Uriel said something cool 10 years ago. If more people would listen, less conflict would result in any given situation. A person has to want to be open and to do the Tibetan thing, opening openness. And I can only offer an open mind, whichever way people want to read into that. So I'm more gung ho for the skeptics. At least they know what they're doing. They're shooting down everything. And you can ask, is that positivity? Is it allowing? Is it abundance? Positivity itself is abundance. Is it openness? Or is it knowing something that precludes possibility? 105 testimonials and 95% of my show guests, I think it's 350 shows almost taped that are out almost. 95% of my guests are taking steps on air, off air. I'll blow lit sage through 2 screens. I mean, there's been 1 or 2 people in 10 years that have said, hey, it could be suggestive, but you can catch sage, flowers, ocean smell. You can see light on my hands. That's out of Celestine Prophecy, the movie, but they were doing this in the 1970s before the movie ever existed. Sue Frederick out of Arizona will tell you that. And in India, they do it this. Yes. So huge thunderstorms here. Apology for the drop off. And the bottom line with seeing some light on your hands or energy or universal consciousness, people can see it flow between them. How do you think chefs in a good kitchen, a happy kitchen, a rare kitchen at a five-star restaurant, when people are flowing together, their light, it's a constant. The light is on everything. Trees, your dog, you, and others. And if you would just slow down enough out of the mind, out of judging, out of skepticism, out of knowing something that precludes possibility, you are already part of that light. It's in you and around you. and you can see it. And I love helping people see light. And I'd have to add one more thing. Angels can help make shapes in that light. So if you're really letting go, you get a butterfly or you get a dragonfly or a face of an ascended master. We had a two of three panelists on a mind body spirit panel recently saw ascended master faces. And then Dr. Yvonne Caisson out of Canada got to see Jesus's face. And she's had 5 near-death experiences, pretty respected internationally. And her show doesn't come out till January of 2026. But that caught me off guard. So it's whatever a person will allow for. And if you won't allow for this, that's okay. Keep going with whatever you're doing, how you're rolling. I just think that when you look at the world situation, I think we've seen where so much thinking and so much knowing and so much conflict is taking us. So this is the opposite. It's a little more love and gentleness.
And speaking about skepticism, what's your personal method of discernment? How do you tell an authentic higher being from imagination or wishful thinking?
I love that question. I get it a lot. How do you know? And I ask that of a lot of guests these days to have fun because I'm like, hey, do angels exist? And they're like, yes. How do you know? So I love asking that. How do you know a good cup of coffee? If you're ordering your fourth cup at the diner and it's that good and you're like yummy, maybe it's okay. So a lot of it is feeling. Are you getting cool butterflies, not bad butterflies? Are you having dreams? You can meet your and see your loved ones, your passed over pets. But meet angels first. Let them be the ambassadors. So what's happening? If it's fire and brimstone and you're scared, maybe go on a retreat or don't do it for a while. Most people have a very happy experience. It's Shaktipat, it's Samadhi, it's Satori, expanded out over time. And again, any answers to any questions. So a lot of people are carrying around a lot of bricks or concrete cinder blocks or even bigger elephants that they need to let go of. And so angels are great for lifting your stress off of you. I don't know anybody working a big high powered job who's not wound up tight. Um, but if you're smiling and happy, then it just accentuates the smiling and happy side. This is positivity itself. It's fairies. It's angels, your guardian angel. Again, Jesus, Mary, Muhammad. It's whatever you'll allow for.
I love that answer. Like, how do you know if your coffee is good? I think that's
I that's I'm not. If I could sign a contract and you can meet Mayor Baba, but he went silent for a long time. I get it. I would love to go silent, except that would make the worst show appearances, and I would be the worst show host at my end. And then it isn't fun. And I tell a lot of dad jokes, so I'll have reactions about dad jokes. How can you tell a joke? And I'm enthusiasm, I hope embodied. But I've got criticism. I think it's the children book author of spirituality. You don't take it seriously enough. And I'm like, okay, I want everyone to have their opinion. It doesn't, I'm not worried about thinking because once you understand the nature of thinking, you're up here. It's not the mind. And there are so many amazing professionals doing amazing work, but they're still up in the mind. They're not, they have the ability to let go. And once you learn something, that's the hard part. You trek to the Himalayas, you met with that lama, you learn something, it's really easy to stay there. And unfortunately, life itself is permanent growth and expansion. And that's what's really cool about angels and Plato and everybody else. They can privately, I don't see your details, they can talk to you about which life stage this is, some of your opportunities as you go up the mountain, which way do you want to trek. Some of it's defined, some of it is open. And no matter what choices you make, I argue in the big picture, you're always making the best choices.
And you also mentioned beings from Orion, Andromeda,
There are
Pluto.
light beings, which I describe like whales. Angels are like dolphins. There are loving beings from Andromeda, which is like it's like saying, how do I say this? It's like saying all food on Earth. I mean, there's so many different types. So Andromeda is a pretty broad definition. Orion, Pleiades, Lyrans. I'm skipping two. Oh, Arcturians. And something else. I'm a little vacuous, so but it's look, there's a lot of beings and there's a lot. And some angels have off-world backgrounds or interdimensional backgrounds, if that's easier for people. Um, so they originally were from way, way, way out. I have three business managers, a Charlotte, a Rebecca, Archangel Michael. And here's Rebecca, and she's from wherever music came from, as she describes it. And yeah, just leave it at that. So it's a lot to take in. It's a lot, except that many people beautifully embrace the opportunity to go full stop here and to have that experience directly with the universe. No boundaries, no barriers. That's just thinking.
But do you think that this could mean something beyond literal? Like, are they like metaphors for states of consciousness?
I think we can let about 4 or 5 thousand current scientists, philosophers, show hosts, all the experts at all the institutes out there and all the universities studying consciousness debate that to no end, and I'm not sure how far they're going to get. But if you want to go to the heart and just meet these loving figures and see them full on in your mind's eye, Americans love to shut their eyes as they listen or as they see this. You can see this way. You can see a little bit of light up there and just take a baby step. Like getting, it's a pool party. It's a pool party. You get invited to a pool party, a lot of people are there. Not many of us are the cannonball type. We just jump into the pool and we're the life of the party. We're like, yeah, whatever. Hello, hi. I'm the type that has to dip my toe in. I'm like, I don't know. Half an hour later, I'm only up to my ankle. Maybe an hour later, up to my knee. I mean, sometimes I jump in. But my point is, this is, boy, are humans so ingenious at finding different ways to handle the same situation. So what's crazy is, let's flip the question on its head. If I took 10,000 people, at least 500 will make it look easy in 1 second flat that others take 20 years to take the most basic step. And it's okay. So there's a lot of judging and a lot of thinking and a lot of knowing going on and a lot of studies of consciousness and a lot of philosophizing about the universe. Do astrophysicists really want to meet, we'll call it aliens or unconditional love beings who are here to help? Do they really want to get their formula done that they've worked 5 years on, the gravitational pull of whatever, and they can have the figure for X given to them? Just ask a question and listen. Maybe the younger generations coming up have more awareness and they're probably from somewhere else off world coming in to help us, among us, which is awesome. But do Buddhists want to meet Buddha? Do people who love Jesus actually want to meet Jesus? You would think, I thought 14 years ago, I'm like, oh my God, everyone's going to want to meet. There was people who are Stoics. Do they want to meet Plato? You can meet Marcus Aurelius Seneca. Um, you can meet Einstein. I mean, you can meet Gandhi. Uh, the answer is no. We have thinking. We have so much judging and knowing, and we got things to do. And we're the number one expert, New York Times bestseller on this for 20, 50 weeks. And we've got endless seminars we're doing. And it's beautiful because there's so many vibrations, so much contrast on Earth, and so many flavors that there are people who gravitate to exactly where they're at for the match, for the frequency match. And so anybody who though realizes, holy cow, it is big, and or I'm willing to take the chance and go full stop and be here, I think you'll find a very fast shift on everything. You'll be able to drop into your heart more, appreciate more, and allow more. Once you recognize the difference between the mind and the heart, it's kind of like a hot stove. You knew it as a kid not to touch those old stoves that had the circular pattern that turn orange when they're heated. You don't typically find people wanting to touch it again. And so the same phenomena happens when you truly get out of mind and you're in your heart. You recognize what's waste of energy and a waste of life. Not that humanity is not getting rid of thinking. It can serve as a fantastic reminder for what that's up to each person to breathe more, to smile more, to be here more. Good. It's like a broken clock though, twice a day with the hands. The clock is correct twice a day with the time. Um, it's hard to remember anything. And so my favorite phrase that I thought was the most original thing in 15 years I've said is remember to remember if you can remember to remember when you remember. And it's not original. Songyal Rinpoche in a foreword to one of those Tibetan Book of Dying books. I don't know which author, but there's only one foreword he wrote that's a page and a half. At the end of his foreword, this book fell off a shelf. No humans were around at a bookstore. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, darn it, I thought I had one original thing I could say that was like my patented saying. He said, remember to remember at the very end of that passage. And he said, I've been teaching my students this for 35 years. I was like, oy vey, that's it. I got nothing new. So it's not about anything I'm saying or offering. If a person wanted to go meet angels directly, they can. They can take photos. They can see full on. I just think humans have really figured out a way to get so stuck in the head and so much war and conflict and judging others This is regarding others as yourself generously and without fixation. True unconditional love, true sparkliness. Here's a shocker, and this will throw a lot of people off on this. Two things. You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. That is a real problem. You can be happy now in this very moment without a single reason. And there's a lot of buts that'll pop up. My situation is, my problem is, but it's absolutely true. If you're here, you're one with all. And you can meet Tinkerbell. I had an Omega Institute staffer give me a testimonial, end of that testimonial, and Tinkerbell was my very favorite. I have a photo of her. You can see her as a 13-year-old across the street if you're really nervous, a whole Walmart parking lot down, but you can see her this big, see her in an animated kind of version, this big in your hand. You can see her sparkles, rainbow flecks, and she's a pain when you're eating cereal in the morning. You're tired, you're eating cereal, and she shows up, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And until you acknowledge her, you're not going to hear the end of it. So careful for what you wish for with all this, but it's awfully big and it's awfully hard to grasp.
And have there been times the messages were inaccurate or misleading, and how do you process that?
I don't think so. I mean, I think they're without the burden of thinking. So they're still learning though, and they're still learning from us. And I think from our perspective, they're perfect. They've got the answers. They can see, like, there's 3 Native American chiefs who can see the way things can unfold, and so they give great advice. They're like having uh, a corporate board, an invisible corporate board, and so they're happy to give answers. Now, sometimes, depending on the personality and the person, they won't give too much detail. For others, they give complete detail, or it's situational. Sometimes you're asking a question, and what you're really asking about, they're telling you, think less, breathe more, or smile more, worry less. I mean, I've gotten that for 14 years. I'm still a big work in progress here. But the more you can appreciate all, the more all comes in. And I think every religion, every philosophy, every country, every group of people, especially the organizations at the institute level, they all have their own nomenclature, their own way of handling the exact same topic. And the last place the human mind, science, and a lot of these institutes will want you to go is to your own heart. Everything is already fully within. And in fact, yeah, I can do everything is totally within. You literally learn to breathe more fully, feel the universe, absorb insight from within. So the universal knowing is entirely different than mankind's knowing. We think it's up here. I would argue it's the size of a grain of sand. And then there's the universe, and it's unbelievable what's available. And I'm not one to say any more on that. That's each person's on their own trek. Just they want to take the blindfold off. That's up to them.
What's the most ordinary, everyday way someone can start experiencing this?
Perhaps put some questions down on a legal pad and leave the legal pad alone, because the questioner is not usually the listener. And so it's sort of like the Wayne Dyer quote: loving people live in a loving world, hateful people live in a hateful world. If I got that right, same world. And so the one asking the questions is not usually the listener. The heart's great at listening. So come back after a shower, after playing with the dog, after watching a comedy, million ways. Take a hot shower. Wayne Dyer quote again: hard to be upset about anything when you're in the middle of a hot shower. So as soon as you get out of the shower, run over the legal pad. You don't have to have a photo of an angel. It doesn't hurt to see Audrey Hepburn's photo and look at her. Audrey, what do I need to know about this topic? And listen. It'll come in as your own voice for 1 second. Second you let go, you hear her voice. And again, what do you think your intuition's been for half the time? And the best, I love this example, is a golfer playing a tournament. They've had 16 great holes. They're on the 17th hole. They're in the lead. It's a community tournament. They know they've got this. But the voice in their head might be like, let's smack this ball. Let's push it a little. I'm having fun. But you don't know that that's not your passed over uncle or Aunt Martha who loves you and loves your golf. And so it comes in as your voice, and you don't think about it. You smack the ball, hole in one. You have a great day. If it came in as an angel's voice, or Vishnu, Krishna, Ganesh, or Muhammad, or Buddha, Jesus, hey, let's smack that ball, I'd drop the club personally and leave the golf course and go seek help, or I'd be so shocked I wouldn't be able to process it, and I probably would shank the ball, and that's the end of my tournament. So there's a desire to not do any interference, rock the boat. A lot of us know so much, and our reality is so fixed. that just seeing a little bit of light on the hands is enough to go. I mean, the first time I saw it, I ran around my kitchen for 10 minutes yelling out loud, what did I just see? What did I just see? I'm ridiculous. It's awesome. I literally for 10 minutes was saying, what did I just see? And let me do it. What did I just see? Oh my God. I mean, I flipped out. And I had one sprinkler guy, I had two sprinkler guys do it individually, and then they could see their light between them. But one of them was like me. He was jumping around my driveway going, what did I just see? What did I just see? And then angels can do light in the sky for you. And then you can see across the street, and they did. And they did joint seeing. Geronimo, Audrey Hepburn, an angel, and maybe Jesus or somebody. But the point is, what will you allow for? And I think when you look at all the personalities we've ever interacted with, including your amazing guests, we're all really picky. We're really finicky, and everyone's a unique frequency. And so it's kind of like you can't judge different food groups. Some people like the peas, some people like the yogurt, others are allergic or whatever. I mean, it is what it is. And so somehow love is what allows us to embrace all this contrast. But I am saying anybody who's willing to not know so much for just 10 seconds, put it on ice. You can have it all right back. You're not surrendering to anything. You're not joining a cult. You're not worried about negativity or, you know, worse than negativity. I've seen negativity. Um, you're just allowing for that shiny, happy side of you that existed as a kid at some point, exists most of your day, but you don't give it any credit. Um, and you're allowing your light to shine through. When you connect to your higher self, you can see your soul as an aurora borealis, eyes open, eyes closed in the sky. When you connect to that, that's when you've let go of a lot, and your field, your biometric field, your rainbow light body goes way out. That's when people are running to get the door for you. You might be actually upset you lost at fantasy football the night before, but you're in such a flow state that a stranger is running over to get the door for you, and you're making their day. They're technically making your day, but you weren't even aware that you were trapped in thought because you have so much love flowing through you. Personal example, I play fantasy football. Okay, so I hope that I'm not answering your questions in the best way, but I'm still trying to give the big picture for everyone.
I think that was a good answer too. I really like that idea of writing down a question and just allowing the answer to come in. I think that's a great idea.
And
I
you do have to have trust though, and that's the hardest part is letting go. Part of us doesn't want to trust anything. And it's the ego trying to maintain control. So it's trusting more, allowing more, and eventually loving more. And it has to start with self-love. So actually, one really fast 5-second exercise. You can look in a mirror and say, I love you. And the first 10 times you might be faking it a little bit. And the next 10 times you're sort of struggling with it. But I guarantee you by the 1,000th, 700th, 500th time you've had a transformative experience. You're bawling, you're yawning, you're starting to laugh hysterically. You're like, I actually do love you, you big lug. You're starting to add words. And that's direct. No one wants to do that. That's Peaceful Warrior, the deleted scene, the last place anyone wants to go. Socrates, the gas station mechanic, who's actually an angel that you can meet. It's the last place that people want to go, but it's the only place you're going to find your answers is within. And I think Seth, the light being, you can meet him, the only one that won't show up in full human form, Cheshire Cat in the Sky. Seth from the 1970s said it the same way. It's not ever to be found externally. You have to go through the world you know, into your heart, and into a broader reality. And there's still a third way. I had it a second ago. I lost it. And I think so. Everyone technically is pointing the same way.
Thanks for sharing that. And do you think angels are guiding humanity through some sort of an evolutionary leap right now, or maybe like sort of like a collective compassion?
Yes, and there's a big game plan. And they've come down during the Enlightenment time and other times, and technically what we could label as interference, but quietly. They've popped in human form. You can full on see them as human. I've had that happen a lot. Sweden, New York, Vegas, Hawaii, Austin, Texas. I'm skipping one, where an angel named Heather, who makes hearts in her photos, she's come down and been a human. They're here to shepherd us through this particular stage, and it is going to mean a little less thinking. Here's Heather in one photo. She loves making hearts. And it's great. You could be like, well, that's an accidental heart. Maybe. It's pretty easy to judge any of this, but too many people have done this, and even jointly, to not want to pay attention. So yes, there's a bigger plan, and I would say, I think I said it earlier, mankind's ready for more compassion, kindness, awareness, and less rat race, less thinking, less knowing, less conflict.
What does a world that's fully in its heart look like to you?
I've heard a lot of people try to answer that one. I'm gonna punt on that one, but I will say, if you wanted to know how it could happen, I asked a big picture question 10 or 12 years ago of an angel named Dale who coached a multi-gold famous gymnast from the 70s or 80s. And I asked one of the few big picture questions, not who killed Kennedy, but just how fast could mankind get jiggy with it? Pay attention. If we think mankind's pretty sharp, we got rocket ships, we've got tech, we've got TV channels and all this other stuff. We make Hollywood films. But how fast could mankind really want to, if mankind wanted to pay attention, really wanted to learn something about themselves, really open up? How fast could it all happen? 3 hours was the answer. That was like 10 or 12 years ago. So I don't know. Good luck with that. But here's a scenario, because I spent a little time I run a lot. I've been a runner since I was 14, 43 years ago. So, the brain wanders everywhere on a run. You get rid of your stress in the first stage, and then you start going la la land. And I'm talking to angels a lot on those runs. Gotten a lot of help with those runs. You can get physical help. You can get healing from angels. But how could mankind shift overnight if everyone started seeing auras on each other? Just your own light body, if you're lying, your light, let's just say, it goes to zero. You don't see an aura anymore. I love this example. You're in Taiwan doing a real estate deal. You're meeting with 20 real estate groups. You got to invest some money. 20 groups. Five of them have no light on them at all. The rest are shiny rainbow light. I think you can figure out which way would feel better. I'm not giving my money and buying a building or investing in construction with a group that is like dark or no light at all, especially if I can see the light and it feels good. So I think there are people walking around for decades and longer who have seen light on people and are operating personally that way. I don't think they're going to put their cards on the table. Einstein said it best. He got a lot of his research and insights from his nap time. I don't think he was napping. I think he was chatting away. And he said, hide your sources. And he also said, mankind's ready for a new type of thinking or it's going to obliterate itself. I paraphrase there. So the new type of thinking is a lot less thinking. I don't think people understand that they're in their mind way more. I mean, I'm in my mind talking right now, but I would love to. I put my hands up on the show, and guests get to feel the energy. I blow through the microphone. You can catch aloha, sea spritz. You can see light on my hands. You can have light balls of light are flying by, not just balls, but there's a whole orb community out there, and that just puts the kibosh on light flying by. But it's angels, it's interdimensional Jesuses flying by. We had Dr. Elaine Yoshikawa at Arizona State University that beautiful light went by. It was interdimensional Jesuses. I don't know how that was possible. We've had former European Space Agency, space aviation psychologist, Dr. Ia Whiteley out of the UK. And she had, I think it was Archangel Raphael fly right by her head as light. And I've got a regular guest now, Jennifer Passavant out of Michigan. She's on her third or fourth appearance. The last two I know for sure. She had 4 flybys in the spring of light going by, and then we just taped, I think it's 3 times now. We just taped and we had 2 or 3 more flybys, and it's every time. And sometimes it's at my end, sometimes it's at the guest's end, sometimes we see it, and the guest is like this, and then it's not on tape. A lot of times it's on tape. So this is a lot, and it's easy to shoot down any aspect of it, but that's okay. Shoot it down. I mean, you're gonna do your thinking and you're gonna do your judging against your neighbor, your political party, your country, this and that, and pick a topic you don't like, and you're already going to roll with negativity and judging. I wouldn't want to change a thing again. I think everyone's good where they are, truly.
And if the veil dropped for everyone tomorrow, what would be humanity's biggest surprise?
It has. It's already available. I think the biggest surprise is as soon as you want to realize the value of thinking, or the valuelessness of thinking, or the what unlove is, thinking, science. Most science. Think of how long. It's not that you can't live without science. You have to have science. But there's so much reliance on science. I think that the art of listening is gone or diminished, or I'm judging probably a little too harshly, but. Um, You can have any answers to any questions. All languages, all dialects. So if you're from not New Zealand, if you're from China, you get it in Chinese. I don't see your questions or answers. We have, we work in a world of limits. Our knowledge, our currency is precluding possibility. I don't know if we as mankind understand that or appreciate it enough. There are so many people with huge hearts that just jump into that pool and say, let's get going, party time. And so that's wonderful. The record's 49 pages of answers in 9 hours. I only checked in every 2 hours. I think they were asking for friends. They did their business model. They did everything under the sun. They collected it for days. They were busy. Australians, for some reason, seem to be the most listening populace on the planet, in my opinion. India would be top three, but India is like 40 countries in one. So I don't know what portion of India. Americans are pretty good. Put them as fifth or sixth. I think it's more situational, though. I think it's where are you in life? If things are going really good, you have no incentive to get out of what you know. If things are going bad, you kind of have no incentive to get out of what you know. Your ego's in control because you think it's bad. Everything is happening for you. I love that. So many different experts say that, not to you. So what's wonderful is the universe is taking care of your instruction. Everything's your instruction. Pema Chodron, I think. The universe is constantly doing your instruction. Are you paying attention? Maybe. I've been doing this for 15 years. I don't know. I haven't hit the bottle. I stay eternally optimistic that anyone, anytime who wants to just know a little less, they don't have to let go of their judgments, their religion, their whatever. They just might want to do a little less of anything while they're just doing basic listening, basic feeling. Uh, and there's healing. That's what's kind of cool too. So call it hugs. One person for cedar fever in Texas. It's like kind of mini flu, allergies extreme. One person might be needing 500 hugs from an angel because they're such a skeptic and they wouldn't even do it in the first place. But a person with a bad case of cedar fever, 22 hugs will get it done. Someone who's like a 12-year-old who's like, no, 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 I see fairies every day. Like, yeah, I can get this healed. 2 hugs and they have no more condition. So that's a lot. I know a lot of scientists come in on this, including very famous ones who've written books on angels, who well-known names. They're there to quantifiably prove angels, and they've responded in the appendix of I have a little that listening to angels book from 2014. I saw balls of light as I typed. If there's a single person on this planet who thinks I originated that book, that's my writing, I am like eternally grateful. You are the best. That's so cool. But it's their language. It's collectively them talking, and they're not there to be baited into proving their existence. Take it or leave it. They're offering unconditional love, and that's the message here. Is um, it's shiny, it's happy, and I think you're going to find that there's a lot of very serious human beings doing a lot of adulting, and I don't believe that most human beings understand that the essence of thinking is unlove or 1%, 1%, 1% negativity for a lot of our thinking. And we're collectively doing that global unlove, unconsciousness, and contributing to it. It's not the external climate change war, this party, that party, or whatever. It's can you turn up your light, shine more, and allow more? Again, regard others as yourself, generously and without fixation. That whole golden rule thing and what Buddha said and the rest. Talk to them about it. Talk to Buddha about it. Um, I love start, stop, keep. What can I start doing? What can I stop doing? Keep doing. Let angels compliment you with the keep. They can tell you how to save energy on your battery, how to save energy daily so you don't freak out or go through so much stress. People carry so much stress unnecessarily. Um, what are you willing to allow for? I mean, at least when we talk spirituality and religion, they say these figures exist. Do they really want to meet them? I've been dumb enough like 10 or 12 years ago to walk into a Catholic church and be like, hey, do you want to meet Jesus and angels? And, a little naive or a lot naive. And yeah, that didn't work out so hot. So
If you had to leave our audience with like top insights from you today, what would those be?
well, there are photos of angels. You can see angels full on. I love the show. It's a tiny little show. I've watched Ian Stenlake from Sea Patrol. If anyone's watched Amazon Prime, that Down Under series, maybe Network 7, I forgot the channel. He plays Captain Mike Flynn on Sea Patrol, Australian Royal Navy. He was a guest on the show. and he took steps on air. And we've had a former White House physician to the U.S. president, Rear Admiral, retired. She still practices medicine. She's great in Arizona. But she took steps on air. Former Miss USA, New York Times bestsellers, Dr. Eben Alexander, his partner, jointly taking steps. And so real high caliber folks. So if you needed a push or like, hey, what's this all about? We're a tiny, intimate channel. I watched Ian Stenlake's view count go from 300 down to 90. It's been a really interesting 2.5 year ride with this channel. I wouldn't change a thing, but one day people will want to pay attention more. And there those videos are because you can take the steps that you're watching the guests take. When I light sage and blow it through the screen, when I put or just breathe and show light on my hands. You can do it, and they do it sometimes. What else? And then put up angel photos, and you can get answers. So everything is right in front of you. There's nothing you have to learn or unlearn, or maybe unlearn a little bit, but it's here and now. So, and angels are really fun. So if you only did one step, how about this? Let's even punt further. Before bed tonight, just be like, hey, universe, hey, angels. Be sure to address angels. Hey, universe, hey, angels, I don't know even what I'm asking for, but make it nice. Like you walked into a 5-star restaurant. This is all about hospitality, not customer service, hospitality. Make it nice. Give me a couple signs or help me with this and help me trust more out of the heart. That's all.
Thank you for sharing all these amazing insights today, Michael. This has been a very valuable, wonderful conversation. I would love to have you back again at some point. If people want to connect with you, your website, michaelandreford.com is the best way to reach out.
Yes, and the same thing for my channel at YouTube, YouTube/@ or just directly Michael Andre Ford.
And I hope I didn't miss anything in this video. I would love to do a deeper dive into some of your sessions next time.
And thank you again, Suma. If anyone's wondering, you have every single person watching or listening has amazing talent, like your favorite psychic that you think is famous out there. You have even more abilities because most of those people are putting their poker chips in a certain way. They can only sweat a lot and listen with their eyes closed for the person in front of them. You don't have to sweat a lot and you don't have to have your eyes closed. You have more abilities, but our thinking won't let us allow.
Yeah, I agree with you. You have to kind of tap into your own inner voice and figure out what's true for you. We all can have our own way of connecting with the with angels.
Absolutely. And thank you again.
Thank you. Have a good day.